Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope you're all doing well today. Today is another stencil, hashtag stencil with us collaboration installment, and it's the second one. Now this is the stencil with us collaboration. It's sponsored by Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming and Susan from Hiles Art. I will have the links to their videos below. You can go down into their channels and look at their videos, and they should have in their videos a list of all the participants for this collaboration. It is an open collaboration, so you're more than welcome to play along. All the information is in their description boxes on how to play and what we're doing. Now today's prompt, if I remember correctly, is to make a tag using, and of course this whole collaboration is using stencils, but to make a tag using paint, paper, or maybe gesso on a tag. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. And sorry for this little beam of light right here. It's just coming in my window. There's nothing I can do right now about that. Anyway, so I made a tag here. I cut my own tag, and this is very thin. It's not good quality. It's 90-pound watercolor paper. I think it's just Daler Rowney, their cheapest watercolor paper, but it just happened to be what I had, and I wanted to do a fun little technique that I really like, and I'm going to be using for my paints. I'm going to be using watercolors. So let me just go ahead and get them here. You can see my watercolor here. It's a dual set. I've got more down here, but I don't think, well, maybe I'll be using some of those colors. I'm not sure. Let me move my other palette and just have my watercolors out. So let me go ahead. Let me think how I want to do this here. Okay, I'm going to start and just to get my watercolors wet. And we'll do that, and maybe we'll do that some greens too. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top, and let me just get a rag here if I need it here. I'm going to start at the top with using a yellow, and I think I'll use this yellow here. And I'm just going to brush it on like that. Then I'm going to go with maybe orange and put some orange on like this. And you're going to see where this is going here. All right, then we're going to get some red. And I'm hoping that this particular way I'm going to do this is going to end cool. I've done this many times before, but not this specific way. So I hope that this is going to look good. And then I'm going to go with, I guess I'll go with purple. Do a little purple here. I'm being careful with my colors. I don't want to like go with the red and then green, because then of course I'll be making mud. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful that way. And then we're going to go into some blue. And is this the rainbow color? It might be almost all the rainbow colors. I don't know. That's not what my intention was, but it might be. And then I'm going to go into some green, and I'm going to pick this kind of bright green here. All right. And it's okay. I want my colors to kind of overlap a little bit, like right here with the blue and green and then the red and purple and stuff. I want them to overlap a little bit like that. And then Helen, stop putting your fingers in there because you're making marks. So you can just kind of mix the colors by just going over the edges a little bit. I want to get that purple off, and now I want to kind of mix the red and the orange. I think I want a little more orange. I think I want it a little bit more. Oh, actually, that was where the red was. Oh, well. All right, we can fix that. Because I really want this. Yeah, see, Helen, you've put purple next to orange, which is a no-no. Let's fix that and put some more red here. I really want the color saturated. And you'll see why as I get on with this here. All right, and then we'll go to the light orange here. I know that that's probably not the color I used. It does not matter. It does not matter at all. And then let's get get a little bit of this darker yellow here going into that lighter yellow, just to add another color, you know, All right. And then, of course, that's the light yellow at the top. And that's fine the way that is. Okay, so just to make sure you can see, okay, it's going to be like this. All right. Oh, my gosh. I have forgotten something vital here. And I wonder if there's some way that I can fudge it. I think there is. Yes, I can fudge it. Okay. All right, so the stencils I'm going to use are these butterfly stencils. This one is a Heidi swap, and it looks like, yep, I got this one at Tuesday morning. So I'm not sure. I can't tell you if that one's still available or not. And then this one, I'm not actually sure where I got this one. This is also butterflies. Let's see if I can get this out here. It's also butterflies, but much smaller. You can see the difference in the two sizes. So I'm going to be using both somehow. So what I'm going to do is put my stencil down, because remember, this is a video about stenciling. So let me think how I want to do this. Okay, I think I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to take a wipe. Now these wipes they're on my desk, but they were in the car for all summer last year, and they dried out. So I'm just re-wetting it with water. But you can use a baby wipe, and that's what I actually intended to have here. It was a baby wipe, and they're not here on my desk. So what I'm just going to do is take my damp, it's not soaking wet, but it's damp. I'm just going to take my damp wipe or cloth or whatever. You know, you can use a napkin, you can use whatever you want, but you probably do need to put a little bit of water on it. And you're just going to remove the color from some of your stencil area. So I'm going to remove like that. So see how it makes like the ghost image of that. Now those are the big ones, and yeah, it got a little bit, I don't know why, it got a little funked up over here. I might be able to fix that if I can get my stencil back on there. I'm not sure why. It might be that my cloth was a little bit too wet, or that I didn't dry the paint underneath before I wiped. But just to make it a little bit more pronounced, okay, like that. And I'm not worried about that little smudging. There's a way that we can fix that. So now I want to put some of these smaller butterflies on here. And I just realized that this has actually got a film over it. So if I tried to use it that way, that wouldn't work. Oh, it's a self-adhesive. Oh gosh, I don't like these. But let's see which butterfly. I think I might want to try. This is going to be a little tricky because my paint, I think, is still a little bit wet, and I'm putting a self-adhesive stencil on, which is probably not going to work very well. Oh yeah, okay, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. See, there's a littler one. And then maybe I've torn this stencil, so I need to be real careful here that I don't you know, remove too much paint because the stencil's torn. Okay, that one didn't come out super well, but that's okay. It's all salvageable. And then let me go to the top here. Maybe this tiny little butterfly up here in the yellow, and I'll use the bright yellow. And I'm just removing the color. Okay. Oh, that one didn't turn out well at all. It doesn't look like a butterfly. It looks like a blob, but still salvageable. So let me just go ahead and try define that a little bit more. No, okay, it still looks like a blob. Okay, no problem. But what I do need to do, and I didn't think this out very well, I just need to hit it real quick with the heat gun. So I just need to plug it in. Okay, sorry about that. I have to get my heat gun. I just want to hit it. It's pretty dry, but I just need to make sure it's super dry. Yeah, see right over here, there's a little spot that's not. And all these, like, these spots here, that doesn't bother me at all. And this, I love. I love when a back of a watercolor tag has watercolor on it like that, because I can write right over that, and that's perfectly fine with me. Okay, so we've got the stencil, and we've got our butterflies on the tag. And now what I want to do is, Oh, I should have been better better prepared for this, but I'm sorry. I've got my stuff right here. So I'm just looking for some stuff here. Okay. What I want to do is to take a marker, and we're going to define these butterflies with a marker first. So I need to just figure out which one. This is why I said I wasn't really concerned that it didn't come out perfectly, because I'm just taking a very fine tip marker and I'm just tracing around the stencil where I've removed the color. Okay. And I'm just, you'll see what I'm doing when I take it off here. And I'm not trying to get this perfect either. I just kind of want a sketchy kind of look here. I don't want a thick line, let's put it that way. So you can see, I just kind of did that, okay? It just kind of makes him a little bit more defined, and I'm going to do that to all of these here. And I know you can't tell by just looking at the stencil, but the bottom wings on these butterflies are all bumpy. Oh, and the top wing, the side of the top of this guy is too. They've got like the little indents and stuff, so it's a little bit fiddly. Okay. So there, I did that one too. So see, it's defining it a little bit more, which is fine. And then these guys, oops, came off of this stencil here. And I just need to figure out who is who here. Was he him? No. Is he him? No. Who is he? He's him, I think. Okay. Because this one didn't come out so well, I just need to know which stencil to trace here. This little guy's got some antenna. Yeah, okay, I guess those big guys didn't have antenna. But you know, if you're doing a butterfly, you can always draw them on if you want them on. Or even when you're fussy cutting, I find it's easier to fussy cut the antenna off, and then, oh, you know what, I think, was he actually him? No, I don't think so. And then you can go ahead and draw them on, and that's so much easier. Is he him? I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and look at the video, but it doesn't really matter, because if he's about the same size, which he is, I can just make this one, this guy here. Okay. All right, so I got one more done. And see, I'm just really doing it very sketchy. It's not even very defined, even with the marker, because I'm using a very fine tip marker here. This is, I don't even know what kind of marker this is, but it's got a super fine tip here. All right, so I'm just going to do this last one here. All right. All right, and do him sketchy like that. So it kind of looks like that. Now, I've never done it with butterflies before. What I usually do it with is like snowflakes and stuff, and it's really cool because I'm removing the paint from blue. But this time I've actually removed colors from the butterflies and made the butterflies white. So you can do whatever you want. What I can do now, if I wanted to, is come back in with like let's give it a try. How many minutes at, oh, I'm only at 14 minutes. Let's go ahead and give it a try and maybe try paint in some color back into where I've removed, so that I can have a different color where the butterfly is, if that makes sense. Let me get a different brush here. Let's try this one. No, then that's too big. Where's my watercolor brush? I've got a jar. You can't see it off camera. Here we go. Of watercolor brushes. Here we go. Let's go ahead and try give him some color here. And I know that's super saturated, but that's okay, because we will water that down a little bit. I love playing with watercolors. They're very forgiving, so much more forgiving than than acrylics. Although with acrylics, one thing that you can do, which is kind of hard, a little bit harder with watercolor, with acrylics, if you let things dry, you can always paint over, you know, to change the look of things or whatever. But with watercolors, if you paint over, you're going to, of course, reactivate the paint and change the color, you know. So if you want to color in like this, I'm putting this blue butterfly over where the red was. If I had to just use the stencil to fill him in, then I would have changed the color. It wouldn't be this blue color. It would be, you know, blue and red, blue and purple, and blue, because he's going through 3 different colors here. Okay, so see, I've just colored him in. So let's go ahead and just really quickly color them all in. And forgive me if I don't speed up this process, because my editing skills are not so great yet. I'm working on them, but they're not quite so good yet. And because of time limitations on this particular, getting this video up in time, I don't have time to do a whole lot of editing. But I just want to give you the idea of doing this, so that if you want to play along, of course, you could do that. Do it on your own. And I'm going to make this guy up here purple, which is unusual for me. I don't use a lot of purple. I don't know why. I'm not anti-purple, but it's just not ever my favorite color, so I don't use it a lot. And there's really not, I mean, I don't think I have one pack of purple paint, like one paper, scrapbook paper. It's a pack I got at Tuesday morning, and it's purples. But other than that, yeah, I don't have a lot of purple. All right, so this is a fun way to get these watercolor guys on, where, you know, a different color from the background. All right, and let's do this one. I know you're all yelling at me. Let's do him red. It'll really pop on that yellow. Okay. And you know, when you with watercolors, you can make them light as dark as you want. You can always put the paint on and then take your little cloth and, you know, dab it off if you want. All right, so isn't that pretty? All right. Now, of course, I can go on and add all kinds of embellishments and whatever. I have some words here, but I'm looking at these and I'm thinking these are actually too big. I was going to put a sentiment on it, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Instead of that, in the time that I have left, I think what I want to do is maybe just do a messy edge, because I like the messy edge. Let's see if I can do it with this pen here. Just like a scribble border. And I'm not rounding the bottom of this particular tag here. I'm just going to do this, and then I have something else to add to it too. And I might go on later on. Well, I probably will, because it's, you know, it's me, and I never can leave things alone. But I will probably go back and decorate the butterflies. Give them some features. What did I do to my pen here? There we go. It's getting clogged with the paint. All right, so see, I just did a very light kind of scribble border on it. Now I could have done faux stitching or whatever, because I always like to do that. Now I've got this mark here that must have come off the back of the stencil, so I'm going to try remove it very carefully, or at least blend it in a little bit so it's not quite so obvious. I just got it wet a tiny little bit, and then I'm just going to dab. I'd rather have a little white mark there than that green, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's a tag. So this is dry enough. I think I'm going to use my Posca paint pen. This is for you, Susan. Listen. She said she loves that sound. So, and I do too, actually. So let me go ahead and then, oops, okay, so this is the problem with this Posca paint pen. Sometimes this particular one likes to act up like it just did. And now look, I'm blobbing it all over. Oh, well, I guess it's decoration. I guess I am decorating him, not the way I wanted to or thought I would, but, you know, there's happy accidents. All right, so I kind of made him white. I've got some white spots, but I'm going to put this pen away because that's going to make a mess. Let me grab a marker here. Where are my markers? Ugh. I've got this little container of markers. And guys, use your markers too. You can use markers with stencils. That's fun too. So these are Sharpies. Let me get a thick Sharpie here. This pink one right here. This is a permanent brush marker, but it doesn't say, I don't know if these ones have nib numbers, like what size nib they are. But this one's got a brush marker, so the tip is very small, but if I push down, of course, I'll get a nice thick line. So I'm just going to give him that one with some dots. And let's get blue for this guy. Oh, that's the wrong one. I've got so many different markers in there. Let's do blue on him. And let's just do some lines. Well, that's very dark, but that's okay. All right. And on the green one, what color can we use on him? Let's see. Oh, this is a black Sharpie. Let's use the black on this little guy here. I'm just going to turn it over here this way. And I'm just going to give him some dots all over. And this is actually reactivating the green paint actually, and so it's not so dark, but he does definitely have some spots on him. And then this little guy up here, let me I'm not sure if this is going to work. We're going to give it a try. We're going to use the orange block brush marker, and I'm just going to give him a few little marks here and there, maybe like this. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to overkill because then I'll ruin it. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, we got a mess there, but that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that. It's a handmade card. But what I want to do lastly is attach. I bought this big old bag of fabric pieces, and I just want to attach one, pick one out, and I promise I will do it quickly. Because there's so many in here. There's tons in here. Just pick one, Helen. Pick one. All right, I'm just going to pick this one, this little green gingham one. And instead of using a ribbon for a tab at the top, I'm just going to go ahead. Sorry about the light, guys. The clouds are coming out. And I'm just going to attach that. So there you have it, guys, my stencil tag. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out Susan and Sheree's channels and look at all the people who are in their description box. Watch their videos too. So guys, until the next video, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.